Hi everyone, it's Tina with TSRcreations. I'm bringing you an alcohol ink today. I'm using this Nara paper. It's a synthetic paper and it's really nice to work with because it cleans up really easily and it's not expensive. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to be using. But I am going to be using some pitch black by Ranger. And this is wild plum by Ranger. I might use some of the green, oh gosh, I don't know what color that was, stream, and brass. I have my Revlon hair dryer that it's a stick hair dryer. It has an attachment that you just take off. That's what I use sometimes to blow the inks around to get the wispy effect. I will also use my heat gun to dry it. And also I have, and I'll probably show you in a second, it's a Ranger air blower that you squeeze. And I'll have all the links to all these things in my description box. So I always do a voiceover when I do these alcohol inks because they take way too much time. So I have to speed the video up a little bit. I guess I could leave it as is if you'd like. I've had requests to not speed it up. It's just, it's a long video. All right, so I'm going to be putting some ink down on the paper. I just put the stream down. And then I'm going to put the wild plum down. And the pitch black. With alcohol inks, you want to, I use 99% isopropyl alcohol. Make sure you're in a ventilated area. And I usually wear gloves just to protect myself. So now I'm just taking my heat gun, and I'm just going to dry these inks onto the paper. You want to move quickly with your heat gun because it can warp the paper. So make sure, and I've done that a couple times and ruined the painting because there's nothing you can do about it once it warps. So I'm just drying them off, and then I'm going to add some alcohol in two different areas. And I'm going to I believe I blow this out. I have little alcohol in my little needle nose droppers. And let's see what I do here. Okay, so I'm blowing it out with this is the Tim Holtz Ranger hand pump. And then drying it. So I just go like this for a little while, and I blow out the areas I want to blow out. You kind of move it. It's hard for me to explain. I want that wispy look, so you have to make sure you're using enough alcohol. And you see as I'm drying it in between, laying down the alcohol and blowing it out. Okay, so I'm going to add a little of the brass, and this is piñata brass, and you have to add it, and then you have to add alcohol to it, and I blow it out. So for me, the alcohol inks, I like to put down the color and then kind of like dry that color, and then I'll go over top to give it more detail. And it kind of looks, to me, it kind of looks like flowers once it's done. And it's kind of, basically it's like layering. You're layering your inks in such a manner that you get depth to your piece. This took me a while to get this technique down. I'll be totally honest with you. I had only started working with alcohol inks maybe about 2 years now. And it took me a while to get the hang of it. There's definitely a learning curve. I can pour and I can do Dutch pours and swipes and everything like nobody's business. But with alcohol inks, it's much more of a learning curve, and to figure out what works and what inks work well together, and because it's all about blending the inks, and you get some really cool effects. My favorite inks are the Ranger inks, and this pitch black is absolutely one of my favorites because honestly, you can just use the pitch black and it looks amazing because once you blow it out, you get all these different colors. It's beautiful. I have a piece, and I'll link it here, that I did. I believe it was just the pitch black. I may have used brass or something like that in there. But I will link that here. I use it a lot. So you see, I'm just keep adding the inks to areas and blowing it out. It's really hard to explain exactly what I'm doing. But you just want to make sure that once you get something that you like, you want to dry it, because as soon as you add alcohol to it, it's gonna move. So I dry it, and then I'll add a little bit of alcohol to get the effect that I want. All right, so I'm just going to let you watch the video. I'll probably speed it up a little bit because it will, it is a long video. And I'm kind of just doing the same thing over and over again. I'll speed it up to this part, and then you'll see I add a couple, some details at the end. All right, I'll catch you on the end. Okay, so I'm going to be doing, I'm cleaning up the areas that I splattered some ink on. And what's nice about this Nara paper is it cleans up really nicely, whereas Yupo sometimes can stain. And the cost difference is nice. So I'm just going to clean this up, and in a minute I'm going to add some embellishment with the brass, and I have these little dot tools that I got on Amazon, and I'm going to use those and add some little dots of brass into certain areas. All right, and a second. I guess I'm looking for my, there it is. So it's like a stylus kind of, they're little dotting tools. And they come in all different sizes. I think it was a pack of like 4 or 5, and there are different tips on each one. So I'm just going to pour some of the brass into a little cup so I can just dip it in. Just to give it a little bit more interest. Just little dots in strategic little areas. I do this a lot in my paintings. Sometimes I'll use some acrylic paint and add some interest. Yeah, so that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment. I usually get back to you pretty quickly. If you're interested, I have another channel. It's a soap making channel, and I make some really cool soaps. There's only a few videos, but you can go check that out. That's The Art of Soap by Tina. I'll have a link down in my description box for that channel. I have a couple Christmas soaps that I just made. So, I like making soap. It's a lot like acrylic pouring. The way you mix the colors and using mica powders and things like that. So, so I just continue to do little dots. And you see I'm dotting, and then I'll wipe, and then I'll dot. Make some bigger, make some smaller, different. And then you're going to dry it, because you want to dry those little areas because they will run if you don't dry them. All right. Well, if you're new here, please like and subscribe. If you've been here a while, thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. I'm having a lot of fun doing this, and channel's growing nicely. So have a great one, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.